Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming, picking up already in progress in the field here. Believe we are on V's place for this particular run, and I am playing my Blade Master Repkosa, most oftenly seen in the Weekend Warrior series. Happy Fragment Friday. Just did a quick run here, Thanksgiving in the United States today as I am recording this. Coming up against a couple evil armors. This is Thunder Element Field, so we're in sort of a sandy desert area. Going to be a futuristic sci-fi theme to the dungeon. With the evil armors, I find distance is your only friend, as they could heap damage on in a hurry. So I just sort of backed off and vac-rommed them to death. I've found, and this is a peculiarity when you really play the same character over and over again, you get to know their casting animations really well. And if you look, I'm hitting my combination to start the next vac-rom at the moment my character swings his sword out to the side. Probably going to see it here in a second. Clear these Valkyries out of the way because I can hit them with elemental hits. Then get myself healed up, get some distance again, and try and group these evil armors up to a point where I could hit them all at the same time and just sort of stun them in place here. In the meantime, 2 out of 3 ain't bad and buys me a little bit of distance from these guys. Getting closer, and they're getting closer too. As you can see, they are shredding at least half my health bar when they go off on that little combo attack. So certainly have to take this battle seriously, because when you're staring at 3 of them, things could go sour in a hurry. Finally get the scenario I'm looking for, get a bit of distance, and that one on the left side still breaks free, so we are just going to keep casting away here. This one turning into a mini marathon, but that vac-rom takes out 2 of the 3, and that lessens the danger by quite a large amount. Able to just charge up and hack away for the finish, picking up 6 experience apiece on those. Here I was kind of stuck in a rut for the past couple days between level 38 and 39. Seems every time I would be close to leveling up, I would end up the old Fragment standby where I'd be taking unfair deaths and just leveling down. Did manage to get over the Schneid though, so next upload for the Weekend Warrior we should be at least into the level 40 range. Once again pulling multiple evil armors, and once again keeping our distance and playing it safe. Not the most exciting gameplay you'll see in .hack Fragment, but sometimes you gotta go with effective over flashy. Do come in for the kill with a flourish, and before we could disarm that chest, another evil armor approaches. Fortunately, this one's just in the singular and has no accompaniment of any other monster type, so we feel pretty confident taking that out. Go ahead, heal up here, grab some more SP. Pick up a Mandragora, that's our grunty food of the field. And we've got another portal here. This time we're getting 2 Valkyries and an evil armor. Take out both Valkyries on that shot. I want to say that's a Gigan crack or something like that. Forget the name of the ability. I just know it as Earth Attack. I just really don't pay much more attention than element and button combo. Replenishing my accuracy buff and speed boost from the looks of it before grabbing another Mandragora and making our way to a portal just on the opposite side above where the dungeon is. Portal yields a chest, but an evil armor was wandering just off to our left, so we backtrack a bit, make sure we're in a safe location to take it down, and manage to finish it off before Valkyrie runs on screen. Keeping the action pretty consistent on us, not too many chances to breathe here. Gonna go ahead disarm this chest, and for our efforts we receive a Hands of Storm. Decent armors being pulled here. There's all kinds of trouble coming our way there. Like a scene from an action movie. You just see Valkyries and evil armors pop up on the horizon and then start marching their way to you. Next thing you know, we're in the orange health mark, so we gotta make sure to backtrack a bit, grab a potion, and go back on our steady diet of Vakrom to the evil armors. Like the little blade spinning thing they're doing waiting. Sort of like a loading animation, if you will. There you see its little shield ability kicked in. We tried to take out the evil armor and we got no damage hit on it. Probably not the most encouraging sign, but we once again make it through, grab our 6 experience apiece for them, and move on our way. Only a few portals left here before the dungeon. I think I'd missed 2 or 3, I'd just simply forgotten to hit the record button. Here from the outset we get all 3 right out of the portal, and this is the dream scenario here, where you could just sort of sit there and sling spell after spell, and they're not going to do much but twiddle their thumbs. Again, it's not the most exciting thing. Suppose if you're into the parody video, this would have really been a good time to cue up a musical clip, and yeah, it did kind of look like he was conducting there. Get through that battle, and once again a Valkyrie runs in. Almost as if on cue in a play, the Valkyrie runs in just as soon as we finish off the evil armors. Take out the Valkyrie too, though, and pick up a Resurrect out of the chest. Work our way back in the direction of the dungeon. See a symbol off to our left there, but first we've got to deal with this Iron Ball Mania. One of the more, shall we say, peculiar monster designs. Certainly stands out in a crowd. Of course, being 15 feet tall helps with that. Take it down. Turns out there were 2 symbols next to us. So we pick up some magic defense and some fire element boost while we're here. One more portal left to open. Kinda overrun it and find ourselves on the backside of an Iron Ball Mania. And now you all get the close-up shot that nobody asked for on this battle. I am standing directly opposite facing the camera. At least I would have been without the Iron Ball Mania in the way. We do dispatch it in a decent amount of time though, so not too much time stuck watching that. With that battle, all of the field portals are cleared, and we're just going to make our way into the dungeon. First floor coming up. I believe this ends up being a 5-floor dungeon here. See our wonderful little spaceship interior. All sorts of polished metal and everything. Got a Valkyrie and a Skate Rat arc. Right away you can see one of my least favorite tendencies of the Skate Rat arc, the ability to just bring monsters back. That said, it's also got a paralyze attack. If I had my choice of the two, it taking a few moments to revive a monster I've already killed once while I take some hit points off of it is far preferable to it paralyzing me. At least I know I'm able to move in that first scenario. Too many things go wrong when you're paralyzed or asleep in this game. Especially if, like me, you tend to be a putz and want to solo everything. Here we're up on another Iron Ball Mania. Big brute of a monster, but not really much of a threat to us. We're not going to get any super effective attacks off, but it's not going to hit us for a ton of damage either. Go ahead, pull the levers out of this chest before once again reaching for a speed charm. I believe this is the last Fragment Friday for the month of November, so only 1 month left in this year, 2020. Don't think too many people will be sad to see the calendar turn over here. But before we do that, we still have some fun to be had here in 2020, especially here in the channel and playing .hack Fragment. Looking forward to all of the Christmas time fun to be had, and there is the matter of a mysterious event, a bit of a redemption promised by one Goddard Amarong on December 20th. So, if you're playing .hack Fragment, or even just keeping tabs on things from the channel here, keep your eyes peeled. Plenty of exciting things coming down the pipe. And if you're curious, or you're just hearing about Fragment now, this is probably as good a time as ever to come and join in. Very active community here on the Discord at Fragment Resurgence. Active discussions at the Discord at .hack Network. Just anywhere you look. In fact, I just saw a new Fragment video. I got a notification from Reddit. Somebody was playing. So all sorts of exciting things. Another Iron Ball Mania here in this square room. It's earth tolerant, so we're not going to get away with our big jumping attack doing any damage. Do have a multi-hit water attack we could do, but it's not super powerful. You're better off just auto-attacking, you know, with your normal attack, especially with Eternity. That's the sword I've got. It's got skill drain on it. So if you are low on some skill points, those normal attacks have a chance to get you some back. Could save you in a pinch, especially in an even fight, or if you're a little down on hit points, give you that little boost you need for that heal spell. Pick up a sports drink out of that crate there. Once again, I'm one of those people that normally insignificant details can mean all the world to, and just the little ways and the sound effects and the little shattering animations of those breakable objects have always made them one of my favorite parts of these games. Get a chest out of the portal, pick up the levers out of it, and the chest at the end of that dead-end room. So we're going to backtrack a bit, make our way over to that long corridor off to the right of the intersection, and then we'll probably be making our way down to the second floor. One of these long hallways. Buttons just weren't responding right at the time I was playing this. A lot of missed inputs where I could have swore I hit the button solid and it just didn't register. Speaking of just not registering, I'm focused on the Valkyrie and I completely missed the two skate rad arcs behind me. Fortunately, the game decided to be merciful here, give me a chance to at least clear the Valkyrie out of the way before it started rezzing monsters. So I've got to kill 3 skate rad arcs for the price of 2 there. Not the most efficient way to get through, but a relatively safe one. Again, while they're rezzing, they're not hitting any damage attacks or altering your status at all. So aside from elongating the combat a bit, it's not really hurting you too terribly. Pop the Fairy's Orb here for the second floor, and we see we're coming up on a little bit of a 3-way intersection, an upside down T room. Portal right in the middle opens up to a skate rad arc, a Valkyrie, and trying to see the name of that winged fish. Unfortunately, I don't settle on it before it paralyzes me, so now I really gotta catch its name. This thing actually cost me a level in the dungeon I ran previous to this capture because I didn't realize that it had the ability to paralyze. There we go, it's a starfish. Usually monsters in that line could poison. I did not realize this starfish in particular could paralyze as well. And I found myself in a situation where I was up against one of those and a monster that was just beating the crap out of me. Do clear the poison out of the way that I incurred post-paralysis. And then heal up and use Mage's Soul to get my SP back up to full as well. Grab an immature egg in the room, and move our way to the right. Wasn't sure which way was going to be the exit, but I could see those stairs down flashing there, so we're going to clear the Valkyries in this portal. Took a couple hits, but we clear them easy. Get our 8 experience for that battle, and backtrack further left. A little bit haphazard in the way we're doing this, but the end goal is the same. We're going to try to 100% this dungeon and get all the experience we can. Up against a Skate Rat Arc in the singular, which is good because these monsters tend to focus on you more than wanting to run away or in circles, and my speed charm wore off. Typically, if your speed charm wears off and you're running against something like a Great Thunder or one of the mage enemies that wants to cast and run away, you're in for a bit of a long encounter. As you saw, there was a room further left, but it didn't really have anything in the way of treasure chests or monster portals. Probably had some eggs and some breakable objects, but not really worried about that on this run, so we're just going to skip it. Here we've got some starfish and some Valkyries. Managed to take out half of the encounter in one shot, and then almost finish the encounter in the second. Finish off that final starfish after that, and aside from a depleted SP bar, we are none the worse. Mage's Soul fixes that, and we move into one of those square rooms with a little pillar in the corner. Almost seems like there's sections of wall cut out to show you the middle of the room. A little bit tricky to navigate these if you're not being careful, especially trying to keep that camera focused on monsters that like to wander around like the starfish there. Paralyzed, so it gets a few free nibbles on us while we just sort of sit there and blink yellow. Eventually get back and take it out quickly. Just a couple hits will do the job there. Get the moon out of the chest that spawned out of the encounter, and the levers out of the chest that's been hanging out in the back of the room the whole time. Make our way over to a large square room. Got a portal in the middle that gives us a Skate Rat Arc to fight. One-on-one with a Skate Rat Arc isn't such a bad thing. In fact, it's kind of cool to fight against a little devil guy surfing on a floating casket. Pick up another immature egg, and back down we go. Going to be going to the right on the map on this one. We got a little diagonal hallway coming up. And now a corridor heading down to the 3rd floor. While I got a moment, I do want to thank you guys. We did a live stream. First episode in the Sitting Agog for Fragment at 15 on Sunday. Helped my buddy set up. He's playing a heavy axe named Fox in Fragment, so if you run into a heavy axe named Fox, tell him we say hi, friend of the channel here. But I thought it went really successful, and I'm looking forward to trying to do more live stuff with Fragment. That turned out every bit as well as I hoped it would have. Get rid of that starfish in a hurry, and now it's just one-on-one against an evil armor. Plenty of damage going back and forth, but we got the edge on that. Looks like we got a thunder anklet out of that trap chest, and now we're just going to go ahead and loot the ones on the altars here. Plasma storm out of that one. Make our way around the C-shaped room. And the other chest yields the moon. This portal opens up to a risky treasure that I thankfully do not spring in my haste, because that was one of those portals I was just ready to jump. Do pick up a thunder anklet. Come to this big T-shaped room. And the portal gives us 2 starfish, 3 starfish, okay. 3 starfish. And we take them down all at once. Couple of those jumping earth attacks. every time hit all 3 targets for the same amount of damage, so they fell at the same time. Certainly looks more badass than accidentally getting stuck on the backside of an Iron Ball Mania, I'll tell you that much. Make our way to the bottom of the T, and we've got a little bit of a treasure room here. Nothing too much. In fact, it's just a room with a singular treasure chest. Now we're going to make our way back up the T and over to the right, where there is a dead-end corridor with a portal and a chest. Just zipped through those first couple floors. Here we once again have a skate rad arc. Open with a flourish, and now settle into consistent damage. Decided to go for that water attack, and we were rewarded with a pair of elemental hits. Really a solid finish to that battle, and probably something I should think about doing with the skate rad arcs more often, as they are fire element. Guys, if you find yourself in those marathon battles, maybe take a look at the elements of the skills you got equipped and what you can put on shortcuts. Oftentimes success or failure comes down to the words elemental hit. Quicker you get those, the quicker you move on. Speaking of moving on, we will move on to the 4th floor, popping the fairy's orb there, and you can see our stairs down to floor 5 are off to the left there, so that's going to be the last direction we go. Instead, we're going to make our way right and sort of handle this in clockwise fashion, if I recall. Grab a sports drink off of that cadaver and hit this square room with a portal. Portal yields us an evil armor and a magical goblin of some sorts. Maybe a goblin wizard. That feels right for this step in the monster evolution. Either way, we managed to get through the encounter safely. That earth element attack is really saving our bacon in this run. And just picking up all sorts of goodies here. Got some boots, got a storm bracer. And now we get to the next room. Dead end corridor, giving us a risky treasure. Inside the box we find a thunder anklet. So yet another thunder anklet. Those are going to help me stock up on some of the potions that I've been using to survive through some of the riskier encounters in this dungeon. Voodoo goblins. That's what we're up against. That portal yielded a pair of them, and we take them down in one shot. Probably the 10 easiest experience we had in this dungeon is they didn't really get a chance to cast anything, and I don't know how damaging what they would have cast could have been. Pick up yet another immature egg before heading down on the map. We've got a couple rooms with portals here. First one gives us an evil armor and a starfish. Missed the evil armor on the jumping earth attack, but the starfish is hit and therefore is an easy finish. Puts us up against the evil armor, and if I have my choice against a ton of damage or a status affecting ability, I guess I'll be taking the damage every time since I've got a Blade Master. And I can take that hit. Pick up an electric guard out of the chest that spawned from the battle. Lightning bolt out of the one chest already in the room, and the opposite diagonal yields the moon out of a second chest. Technically third if you count that first one we opened. Here we're keying on the voodoo goblin, take it out, and almost finish the starfish in the process. Trying to stress it a little differently so you're not thinking that it's a starfish if you happen to have it on for the audio, and bless your heart if you do. God knows I tire of my voice in about 30 seconds. But we're up against one of those winged fish monsters that happens to be called a starfish. It looks nothing like a water Pokemon, if that helps. Well, I guess it kind of does. Stupid point by me. Let's get back to the battle. Finish the evil armor off here. That's our L-shaped room off to the left of that sort of wheel hub, if you will. And that takes us up to our stairs to the 5th floor. Up direction on the map. Obviously the stairs are going down. Gonna start off the 5th floor with a little L-shaped room here. It gives us a risky treasure, and once we look inside, we are given a thunder torque. Decide to work our way up. If you look down right underneath that L-shaped room, there's a little rectangle room with a chest at the end. That's gonna end up being our treasure room. Here we've got some voodoo goblins, and we take out all 4 of them in a single shot. Each one takes over 2400 experience. So again, instant badass feeling there. For every time you miss an attack or, accidentally hit something with the element it's tolerant of, you have moments like that where you feel like the king of the world. Not so much feeling like a king of the world here, as we are trying to once again bait 2 evil armors into being close enough that I could sort of stun lock them with some Vac Rom. It's probably about the time in my character's progression where I should be looking at a more powerful spell, but the fact that it's only 10 SP really stands out as a positive for me. I really don't want to be casting primarily with the Blade Master, but you do want to keep it open as an option, just in case you run into those things like the Shining Eyes that really just have the biggest knack for avoiding physical attacks. In fact, we're slowly getting into that area where we are going to see things that are physically, tolerant, just immune to physical attack damage. Here we come up against a voodoo goblin and a pair of evil armor. The evil armor certainly put a number on us before we're able to distance ourselves. And then things just weren't shaping up for the battle the way I was hoping they would, so took the moment in between the animations and chanced running between the evil armors. Lucked out there, only got hit a couple times. And we eventually get them in that scenario where they're close enough that we could chain them with Vac Rom. Sometimes the simplest plans are the best, and here there's just no point in trying a different strategy if the tried and true is going to work. Make our way through. Got a trap chest in front of us. Let's see what we get. And we pull another thunder torque. Sort of stumble around looking for the chest. I should really stop trying to do those close-up facing the camera chest openings because I always get the angle wrong. Swear I'd be able to line it up better with a mini-map in the upper right corner, but hey, you get what you get. Moving down in the floor now. Grabbing a lightning bolt out of that chest, and then we're going to go ahead, crack that jar open and get a healing potion. Move a little further down, we've got a sideways T-shaped room. This one's giving us the old evil armor pair. Man, it is crazy just watching your health bar dip down when those guys start chaining off. They've got some really strong attacks, but by far and away the deadliest one is that combo where it's just hit after hit after hit. You really have to be careful when they're around, because about halfway through a combo, another one could just run up and start comboing, and the next thing you know, you still can't move, and your health just doesn't stand a chance. So imperative to know where a healing potion or something of that ilk is in your shortcuts. Earth Element Attack takes out both voodoo goblins in this L-shaped room at the very bottom of the map, and it gives us free reign to just go one-on-one with the evil armor. Combat that could have been really scary. Fortunately, some wise planning and good timing saved us from the worst of it. Here we're up against an Iron Ball Mania, and that is going to be our last dungeon portal to open. So we're ending on a tall note, if not the most exciting. Nice safe battle though. Good note to end it on from an adventuring perspective, especially in that little bit of a rut we had found ourselves in. Do get 7 experience the better for the combat, and get a trap chest that gives us Sleipnir. Nice little long arm lance there. Gonna work our way back up to the treasure room. We just passed the half-hour mark in this run, so thank you for listening to this point if you have. Not much to do here but loot the chest. We get a soul anchor and a pair of light cross. Soul anchor is a pretty strong heavy blade weapon from the looks of it. Yeah, there you go. Got the Vorv and Spirit Drain on the skill list. Guys, that'll do it for this episode. Hope you're having a wonderful Fragment Friday. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and we'll see you next time.